Now, what was initially meant to keep students safe by keeping them apart has now caused anxiety and also some mental health concerns for a lot of students.
Yeah, West Hartford Public Schools are beefing up their programs to make sure that no child gets left behind. Fox 6 1's Julia LeBlanc joining us now live outside of Conard High School in West Hartford. Julia, kids coming back. I mean, it's been a while since they've seen some type of normalcy.
It has. Good morning. And there's a lot of changes when it comes to mental health and taking care of those children, really when it comes to manpower. Now, for years, the Bridge Family Center has been coming into schools like Conard here and offering individual and group therapy for the students. But now that more kids are coming back to school for the first time in really 2 years, that means more kids are going to need more help when it comes to mental health. So they're beefing up that program. Here's what parents need to know.
The emotional and mental health issues of our kids were real.
Last March, Connecticut schools had to pivot. Kids went through dozens of changes and parents didn't have the answers.
That difficulty of not knowing where to turn for help has made all of the normal things that are hard about growing up that much harder.
That's where Christopher Dutton and his team of social workers at the Bridge Family Center come in. Here's what he heard from one remote learner about coming back to school in 2 weeks.
He's really nervous to go back to school because he's like, what if nobody remembers me? And I'm like, I think they will. You're a memorable person. But he's not convinced of that because he's been alone.
People who have never struggled are struggling now. Dutton says for some, that'll go away when the dust settles. For others, it'll get worse. So the district is doubling up on social workers.
And that's where, the school personnel will be the first line of defense and step in and say, are you okay? What do you need? And they'll tap us to help.
They'll target specific problems, focusing on anxiety and transitioning back into the classroom. And it's not just the kids getting the help.
Some people are really anxious to have their kids back in school and they can't wait no matter what. And others are really nervous about it. And so we're going to try to help parents a little bit as well.
Investing in mental health and hoping for a positive change.
We have to start operating hopefully, optimistically, not just about what's going on in the schools, but what's happening in the future for us and for our kids.
Now, the changes to that mental health program, we're told, were made possible because of money coming from the federal government. And the superintendent tells me that they do still need approval from the feds for this structure of this program. But he says he doesn't see anything getting in the way of that, especially because he surveyed families in the district. And this is something that they say that they want and they need, that mental health help as kids come back to the classroom. We are live right outside of Conard High School. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.